Flame on. This is a Dragon Barrows in Nerdsville. I just watched the variant comics battle of the Hulkbuster armor versus the Justice Buster armor, as in Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark, Iron Man versus Batman, but with their most overly powered and epically destructive armors from these two billionaires. He went on a few good points with the Hulk and facing up against other Marvel characters, and the Justice armor facing up against Superman, the Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and all that. But there's one thing he forgot to, and he said that the Justice Buster armor had a compartment in it where Bruce Wayne had gum with radioactive material, or aka kryptonite. So he would chew it, spit it into Superman's face, or chew and or spit on it on whatever, and the kryptonite would go into the Superman system. And he said, and the dude on variant comment said, "Oh, this is why the Justice Buster is far better than the Hulkbuster." Really, one has got to play the devil's advocate here. The Hulkbuster armor may be more iconic, but yet it's more reliable. The Jarvis program, the Friday program, or whatever artificial intelligence program that Tony Stark had produced, and at the time will be in the Hulkbuster armor, giving Tony Stark the stats of each body, of each limb compartment. Like, left leg, it seemed to be damaged, Mr. Stark. Shall we ask for, require more, jettison that part and have another part come up? Which is the beauty of the Hulkbuster armor. You can jettison off a destroyed piece, and another piece would fly and reconnect, making the armor new again. Unlike the Justice battle armor, from what I've read and what I've seen, there's not much that Bruce Wayne had thought of with countermeasure armaments. So what? Little gloop, and Flash goes for a 6. Yellow light. Ooh. Hal Jordan, stay away! Stay away, Hal Jordan! Stay away! I know that's a Pokemon, I know that's Pikachu, but it's yellow. I just use the yellow to give an illustration that how Jordan can be affected by the yellow light. Put Wonder Woman under a trance. Do some sort of psychosomatic thing with Martian Manhunter, where he believes that the city's on fire. Anti-hacking program with Cyborg and his internet, and the whole Superman thing with pieces of red suns in his gauntlets. But Just say that someone along the lines of abomination, to use an equivalency of an insane powered, hyper crazed individual, I would say Doomsday or Solomon Grundy. If they were able to rip a part of the Justice armor off, the integrity of that armor would be Bruce's downfall. For instance, Doomsday. He's like the Hulk and Superman's love child. Can shoot lasers out of his eyes and can... Actually, Abomination and Superman's love child. Big, bulky spikes, all, rigid bone structures that pop out of his arm, pop out of his elbows, his knees, and he knows how to fight. Put that armor against that sort of individual. That won't work. Unlike the Hulkbuster armor, which can actually take on the Abomination from the Marvel Universe. Okay. Abomination. One punch rips off an arm from the Hulkbuster armor. Tony Stark can go, okay, let's fly out of the leap range and get replacement armament, the replacement limb. And that limb would come back and Tony can start wailing on Abomination again. The same can't be said for the Justice Buster armor. When it gets destroyed, there's no repair. Automatic battle repair. That's one thing that the variant comics didn't look into because he is a Batman fan. Second thing, they said, he could take on Cyborg and his hacking abilities, but Cyborg is one entity. He hasn't thought of Jarvis, Friday, or any other AI that Tony Stark may think of. Or codename. He could name him... let me see... Autonomous life form... Or something that spells like ALF. He could have like an ALF project. Like program. And ALF can go, alright, this is what I find interesting with Tony Stark's AI programs. They do eventually find a way to find the schematics of the armor that Tony Stark's fighting against, find holes in that armor, as in weak points, can calculate what that particular blind spot can be protected, and the different percentages of, okay, this joint here is far more vulnerable than this joint over here. It can go through, as I said, not only abilities, weak points, but can also go through and analyze each system, like the heating system or the uh, heating and cooling system to keep Bruce Wayne alive in the armor, or it can look into the, I would have to say, the basic. This Bruce Wayne doesn't. That's the problem with Bruce Wayne. He doesn't have that AI program that can be his tag team, that, and to use a wrestling term here, be his tag team partner, and to watch that. Oh crap! Bruce is going to go down here. I need to think of something to help Bruce out and for him to win. That Hulkbuster AI can literally see, oh, he is a dumb, this is empty shell. It just has basic programming. It might have a sonar system here. It might have some sort of radar system. It has this system. It has that system. Then the tentacles start to feed false data into Bruce Wayne and go, all right, we've done here. Then it can start shutting down. It doesn't have to take, the Hulkbuster armor doesn't have to take physical damage or inflict physical damage into the Justice Buster armor. You can just go, okay, that program can detect the speed of the Flash. Okay, we have fast rockets here. Take that bit of armor out. Take that bit of programming out. Literally download it. Then upload a new program, which is very much slower than the Flash equivalent. Then go, okay, it has this program here that can give hypnosis and confusion. Okay, we'll shut that down. But link in maybe like the fuel gauge. Like fuel gauge is fine. Do double roots and things like that with basic armament controls to these more advanced ones. Oh, okay. Ooh, it has this fancy option here. Take that. Add some and do something weird, and then go to the gauntlets and shut down the Red Sun Knuckles, which itself is radioactive, and I don't think Bruce Wayne did realize that. Hang on. This is very much radioactive stuff I'm having. I've something in the head compartment and am I shielded? No. That comes to the next point. And it's, with all this AI hacking, going, ooh, take that. Okay. And then uploads all of those same schematics into the Hulkbuster armor, and Java's Friday or whatever, it can go, do you want me to start programming new Iron Man armor? And this is where Tony Stark can easily do a lot of damage. After taking all of that stuff, you can actually implement those programs into the Hulkbuster armor. Okay, rocket's firing, move out of the way. Or even just go, okay. Oh, rocket's coming. Grab, turn, boom. Exploding. Okay, throwing a fist. Boom. Throwing another fist. Boom. Just avoid it and then Jobs program workbench. And during the time, there could actually be improvements being made to the Hulkbuster armor during the fight. Maybe not that particular article of armament, but Hulkbuster version. If it's the Hulkbuster 15 that he's in, it could be Hulkbuster 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. On, and I can go on and on and on, where these added implements can be like little added little things that can be tweaking into the armament. Not only the Hulkbuster armor, but it can do stealth armor. It can do with all through the whole range of Iron Man Mark this, Iron Man Mark that, Iron Man Mark the other, which would be beneficial for Tony Stark. It's like Bruce Wayne going, here. Here's all of my intel, here's all of my knowledge. Take it. It's yours. Not doing the whole Japanese bow thing. It's just, boom, here. Take it. I am done. Taking on the speedster, okay. Goop cannon. Boom. Stop Quicksilver, boom. Hypnosis thing, okay. Who do I know that's who can be a bit psycho with the mind powers? Emma Frost. I can combat that with this sort of program. That's what Bruce Wayne did. He's handed Tony Stark a whole lot of beautiful pieces of technology to improve his armor. That's point 3. Point 4 is the health factor. Tony Stark is an engineer. He knows to, when he, in some stories where he actually had the shrapnel taken out, had the core thing taken out, he knew how to keep the radioactive material shielded away from his body. He had layers of protection. Unlike the Bruce Wayne Justice armor, where there's hardly any protection. A little bit of radioactive material can just keep pumping into the. Just a little bit of it gets damaged, like a little nick. This is metal, like a little scratch. Or let me use one of my belts as reference here. Let's see. Here. That is a scratch on a professional wrestling championship belt. Come on. Yeah, fix your blade. Just a little tiny scratch. Heat. It heats it. Can make the scratch even wider and wider and wider, where there's actually radioactive material leaking into the compartment where Bruce Wayne is in. And Bruce Wayne's got to start and finish the fight very quickly, because I doubt there would be any shielding. More that the armor gets used, and to have that compartment where in the helmet where he can eat radioactive material. Even having that even having the container of the kryptonite and have that be able to put into his mouth, he is allowing radioactive material to be ingested. And chew, and all that radioactive material goes, into his saliva, into the gums, in the little pores of the, and go right to the grooves of the, and little standing tentacly thingies of the tongue. And with him spitting it out, and most probably swallowing some of it, Bruce is virtually giving himself a chemo treatment without the medical benefits. And if he has to use the armor again and again and again, just having the helmet compartment filled with various radioactive gums, and all you just need is a crack no bigger than the very top of this Magic the Gathering booster deck. Just a thin sliver, and all this different radioactive material, including the yellow gem with energy pumping through it, can lead to a radioactive situation where Bruce's body gets more bombarded with radioactive material, and you don't have to be Superman to see the skeletal structure of Bruce Wayne. The constant overusage of it is just saying, "Come on, come on, radioactive poisoning. I'm here for you. Give me all your warmth and all your powers." That is the eventual downfall of the Justice Buster armor. It will affect Bruce Wayne. It will make him age rapidly. It will make him less mobile. Let's just say if the Joker runs right in no... Like the Joker can just go... and look, a businessman's type. Whoop, Batman, what are you going to do? Ah, look. Thank you, Mr. Policeman, for this beautiful, nice stick. Whack! Oh. Oh, look at me. Oh, dearie me. Ho, ho, ho. Here's the Dark Knight himself. Batman. Oh, don't you look all sickly. You look greener than the Riddler's outfits. Oh. Both. And to quote the Riddler, riddle me this, riddle me that. What just went snap on the big black bat? And such things of that particular nature. It'd be bye, Bat Boy. Hello, taking over Gotham. Unless Nightwing takes over or Robin becomes the new Batman. But That would be hard. That would take at least a good few months, and by that time, crime rate in Gotham would be sky high, and law enforcement would be hidden into the shadows with vigilante crime fighting groups, and that they would take down a few gangs here, but yet get killed again, get killed, and more crime will rise. Up. There are just several points of this Justice Buster armor that can literally bring Bruce down tremendously. It could be a 30-year-old Bruce in the armor. By the end of him using the armor, just say a 6-month period where a lot of heavy hitters have escaped from Arkham, like Killcroft or Solomon Grundy, or a threat comes from Metropolis, like Abomination, or some other overly powered supervillain that comes into play. More times that Bruce puts on that armor, more times he's going to open himself up to such a negative. No, sorry. Metropolis with Doomsday, not Abomination. Abomination Marvel, sorry. There's no real safety mechanisms in the armor. Variant comics said it themselves. It can get ripped apart. All Hulk this did was bury Tony Stark underneath a building. I'm not saying because I'm a huge Marvel fan, or I just simply hate DC or hate Batman. Far from it. I have had an interest of armors and like virtual armors from the histories, like samurai versus medieval armor. People will think, oh, it's samurai armor, leather, it won't protect you from much. That's what Variant Comic did with the Hulkbuster armor. Said it's weak, it's this, is that, and the other. And then they went on to say that, I'm paraphrasing, that, oh, look at the Batman armor. It can take on Superman, it can take on the Flash, it can take on all the Justice League members. But when you actually put them both head to head, Tony Stark may not be the best fighter. He can have his have his butt handed to him by Natasha Romanoff, a Black Widow. Even by Thor with one finger, or can't even last a decent round with Captain Steve Rogers. But he knows technology. He puts together everything. He's minutely detailed. There you go, the samurai. Unlike Bruce Wayne, who knows how to fight and knows what works and what doesn't work, ends up putting together the Knights Templar armor without thinking of the samurai armor being a far better option. There are holes and weaknesses, things that can be exposed and exploited to various points. It's just putting. Right, you can have as many flashy objects on the car in the armor as you want. But you have to realize the practicality of the internal structure. Tony Stark has spent years putting together military attire, working with the military, knows what the military wants, knows how to put together virtually armored suits to protect people. Then you look at Bruce Wayne. All he just knows is how to fight. He may know a little bit of race car driving, so what? So does Tony Stark. He may know how to charm his way into certain things. You know what? Tony Stark's better at doing that. But it all comes down to this. The length of the amount of time that each combatant put into their armor. Tony Stark put a lot into their armor. He knows what to do. He knows how to think. He can outplay if it is the Iron Man arsenal versus the vehicles of Batman. Tony Stark's going to win. Iron Man is going to win. Bruce Wayne, he had to have people assemble things for him. Like his Cal, and he goes on the experience of others. He does all the fighting, but really the armament has been made by someone else. Lucius Fox. Just use the recent Batman movies, one with Christian Bale in it. Lucius Fox had created all this beautiful armament. He created this beautiful, even created the thing that can use mobile phones as listening devices. He did all that stuff. But Tony Stark, if there was a fight between Tony Stark and Lucius Fox would have a more equal ground in a Justice League Buster armor, because he would know how to shield himself from the Hulkbuster armor. But we're just saying Tony Stark versus Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, he delegates things, important things, to different people. He relegated his fighting training. Well, he had no choice but to delegate his fighting training to the League of Shadows, or to various martial arts experts and wizards and whatnot. It all depends on what comics you read, or what cartoons you watch, or movies you view, and that. But on the other hand, when it comes to robotic armament, you look at Tony Stark. He was captured by terrorists. Vietnamese, it could be Korean, it could be Middle Eastern. Wherever the terrorist is, it could be a Russian terrorist, it could even be in my home country of Australia. He could have been stranded in Australia and had some Australian terrorists capture him, and you know what? He made an armor out of scratch. Like little bits and pieces here and there. Could Bruce Wayne do something in that situation? I don't think so. Because he didn't have that thing to prove to someone. Tony wanted to strive and beat his father. He'd beaten his father. But you look at Bruce Wayne. Not exactly much of an adult. Not much of a been raised by parents. He was raised by a butler. What's he going to learn? How to polish silver spoons? But that's just a bit of retrospective thinking with using the D2 combatants. Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark. And you have to look at how at other armaments that both combatants have used. Tony Stark has used various armaments in various situations. Unlike Bruce Wayne, who used maybe a Bat-Cowl space outfit if he's traveling into outer space. Maybe a Bat-Cowl. Everything has to be like bat. It has to have big bad ears and things like that. Because I'm Bruce Wayne and I need to put on bat things to prove that I'm Batman. Tony Stark doesn't need to put a huge iron S on his chest to prove, or have like a literal like a image of a man made out of metal superimposed on his chest to say, you know what, I am Iron Man. There's just a little bit of Bruce not thinking correctly. It may have worked against the Justice League, but really, Cyborg, he just stopped one, but part robot, part man. Only had programs to stop him from hacking into the system, but there are many other systems that can easily hack into it. There's the health, there's virtually things in that suit that is more detrimental to Bruce Wayne than things detrimental to winning the fight against the Iron Bat armor versus the Hulkbuster armor. Hulkbuster armor may not be specifically for one cause to stop the Incredible Hulk or to help the Incredible Hulk in a few things, but when you program something with so much stuff, so much variety, systems can cross. And I'm not saying it because, of these two things. Well, I shouldn't. Oh, I love them so much. Sorry. Or actually, yeah. These two things are championship belts, and people think all belts are the same. Like all armaments should be the same. But Unfortunately, putting too much stuff can go skewy. One too many punches in that can literally jar systems. Just hit a number of potholes. Just get into a nice family-sized car and do some driving along potholes, like the streets just full of potholes. Boom, 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 boom. Your radio system would go crazy. The electronics in your car would go cuckoo. There's so many different things that can affect the car, and that's just by the gyration of moving up and down can make the car go funny. It has happened to a number of my friends. They have in their car, one of my friends had a super bass system. He virtually put in his car an entire recording studio into his car, not his car, his van. Several equalizers, stabilizers, electro pop sounding, animal sounding programs. When he hit a pothole, he hit a few potholes, and then all the equipment in his van went haywire. When he wanted to equalize something, it turned on this other program. When he wanted to use that program, it turned on some other program. He wanted some other program, it did high pitch, low pitch thing, and that was just in one car. Not prepared for shock. Unlike the Hulkbuster arm, where Tony knew it was going to go through a lot of shock and trauma. He beefed it up. It's like a walking, talking tank. But then you got a flashier set of armor in the Justice Buster armor. All you just have to do is take a few. All the Hulkbuster armor has to do is just just jab a few punches in certain areas and connect with the armor. You definitely know that something's going to get jolted, and you could turn off the gauntlets. If Bruce said, do this, but then it ejects Bruce out of the cockpit in his street bat attire. Bye bye Justice Battle Armor, or Justice Buster Armor, and you got Tony Stark as the winner. Just because of the machine screwing up. And those are the points that Variant Comics didn't add. He just went on who would beat what armor would beat what armor, and just wanted he beat Thor once, he beat Captain America a few times, beat the Hulk a number of times, and then went on the whole extensive thing by saying, it defeated the Justice League. It has this mechanism to go against Wonder Woman, has this mechanism to go against Martian Manhunter, has this mechanism to go against Cyborg, has this mechanism to go against the Flash, and he has this mechanism to go against Superman himself. It is those systems that will eventually be the downfall of the Bat Superman Buster armor, or so to say, Justice League Buster armor. There's just so bit more cons than what Valiant Comics want to admit. Unfortunately, he in the past had admitted his love for Batman. This was biased from the start. He didn't go into the thing thinking that the Bat armor can lose. The Justice Battle armor can lose. Didn't think of what could actually happen if something like that had occurred. He said that the armor itself got ripped apart. And it has been shown from the Hulkbuster armor that there can be replacement parts to make the Hulkbuster armor somewhat new again. Failed to put those two situations into context. Also failed to put into context the ability to eat radioactive materials in form of food items is unhealthy towards an average human person. Didn't think about saying, oh, there's just so many things that he was too much biased towards Batman. I have nothing against Bob Kane or his wonderful creation. I can actually remove myself. I'm more of a Marvel guy. I'm more Marvel in I'm more Marvel in DC than I'm into the indies. Therefore, I will not do an indies versus a Marvel comic battle thing. But I can subjectively say that the Hulkbuster armor is far superior because it has those abilities to repair itself. It has the abilities to shield its occupant from harm. Unlike Batman's Justice League Buster armor, too many systems, easy access to radioactive material, easily hackable, since the hacking program was against one computer system where an enemy could use various systems to hack said armor. Variant Comics, I hate to tell this to you, your bias made you this. It literally made you this to various other avenues that Batman can get defeated. It literally blinded you to all possibilities of a Batman / Justice Battle armor to lose. This is what you see. Batman's Justice League Battle armor winning everything. He can take on Voltron. He can take on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Megazords. He could take on Transformers. But there's a huge world far beyond Batman that you haven't yet thought of. Dr. Hank Pym in the Ant-Man costume can beat the Justice League battle armor. Go down, go up into a vent, run right on the circuitry. Clayface could beat Batman in that armor. Clog up a few vents that literally send globs of clay into those vents, making the armor unusable. The Joker with various forms of silly putty can go up the same said vents and make it go kaboom, baby, and defeat that armor. There are so many villains and heroes on both sides that can literally destroy the Justice League battle armor that you didn't want to think of. You didn't think of the other contingency plans. Unlike Tony Stark, who does think about every possible attack. Sandman from Marvel, he would know to put in some sort of mechanism to combat that supervillain. He can think okay, I'm facing the mission is this, and add protocols to that armor to combat that villain. If there are multiple villains, you would have contingency plans to replace the different parts of armor to combat different aspects. But unfortunately, the greatest detective will end up to being the greatest chump. I'm Dragon Barrows. Burn you later.